Y'all see the title. Did Sayso P cause Sauce Walka shooting? And also the darkest days of battle rap. You see Cassidy in the title. I got some Cassidy footage to play. I got some whack 100 and rainwater footage to bring up for a second. We got to talk about some statements that DJ Vlad made towards Charleston White. And once again, the big discussion around Sayso P and Sauce Walka. I want to start there. Now, you see in the thumbnail, it says money motive. You know, the motives behind money, and money is going to be tied into every topic that we're going to discuss today. So, as we move into Sauce Walka and Sayso P, I want to start out by saying big rest in peace once again to Sayso P. Life is very, very precious. You know, I say that on these streams, so many times. And I think so many people are focusing on Sauce because he's the name, he's the bigger celebrity, he's the more well-known artist. People such as myself, as well as many other people on the internet, they're just finding out who Sayso P is in the midst of his losing his life. And that's very unfortunate. But I do hear that he was a very talented and up-and-coming artist, and the stuff I heard so far, he seemed to have definitely a lot of promise about him. You know, I saw that song "Back in Memphis." That shit went. I mean, so rest in peace to Sayso P. We don't mean this in any slight at all. But let's first take a look back at some of the stuff that's already been discussed. All right. And then we're going to start to build towards the point and ask the question: was Sayso P the center of this targeted attack?
Last shot for cash out.
About 15 minutes ago, we're just waiting for
Meet me
them
tonight.
to come over.
You got something else?
Traffic.
Well, Bobby, man, I know what's going on, man. TSL Memphis shit.
Where we at though?
Yeah, we in Memphis with this shit right now, in the M right now. You know where these rap niggas don't come to. But South gonna be here, man. Sleep here, stay here, man. You know, so as long as we want to, man. You think what I'm saying? Certified, man. This shit going on.
All right, so there's really three. There's really three that's going around right now. So that's the first one. We back in Memphis. We back in the M right now, right? So what some rumors are tying that to is his issues in Memphis and why he left Memphis. He was no longer living in Memphis full time. Allegedly, he was staying in places like Miami and he moved around. We see that all the time, right? Streets say Hov can't come back home. You know, when I heard that, when I was back, you see Meek Mill go through that a lot. I'm in Philly right now. We here, we there. Who else? There's a lot of rappers that go through that. And it's one of the things that make up your image, who you are. It's like a part of the rapper kit, right? The chains, the jewelry, the cars, the women, the street credibility, the backstory, as well as are you accepted in your hood? You know what I'm saying? Are you still accepted on the block where you come from? You know, a lot of people would say, which is a contradiction. On one side, the goal is to get up and get out. Just like being in a world of crime. You make your money, you make enough money, you don't stay in there too selfish, you get the fuck on, you get out before the feds get on you, before you see jail or death, right? Normally there's two outcomes, we say, right? Rather than try to make it a career, forever. Like, I'm going to be selling crack until I'm 50. Get your fucking money, hopefully evade those two things that are pretty much inevitable, and get the fuck on, right? So leaving your hood, although they will dish you for it if you're a rapper, they will put pressure on you if your hood comes out and says you can't be here, right? It'll be a scratch on your jacket and even a scratch on your streams and your album sales. It's fucking ridiculous. It's a setup. It's a fucking setup. It's tricking you off the street. But at the same time, sticking with this rumor, if him going back to Memphis is showing that I can be here despite maybe some of the issues that I have, or he's actually rapped it, right? I got friends I grew up with that said I'm pretty sure Sayso P has rapped it himself. So that becomes motive one that's going around. Okay, let's continue.
Oh, outside right now. Outside popping this shit. Hey, popping this shit. Like normal shit, the records, like, you know what I'm talking about? You see what I'm saying? Head to toe that man, head to toe, man. I see that boy, I'm laying with that boy, Louis that boy. Shit going on, man. What the talks about? Ranks in this bitch. Come on, man.
Shit, it's a normal day in the South Side. Like,
No, the Sauce like P. Go yards everywhere, diamonds everywhere, just bankrolls everywhere.
I guess if we wanted to, I really wasn't going to use this motive right here that I'm saying now, but I guess if we wanted to, we can say motive 2 is posting all this type of stuff that people don't have. Diamonds, jewelry, money, thousands and thousands of dollars. You're showing off the expensive shoes and all that. These are the type of things that the Jack boys come for, right? So you're making yourself a lick on public IG. So we could say that that's motive number 2.
Everywhere, money everywhere, just what up, everything, shit everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Brothers. Yeah, man, we with this shit, man. What are you talking about? Here to tell them people, man. Got this shit on bankroll.
So this is motive number 3, people. If you look in the background, kind of like by Sauce Walka's head right here, and as he moves along, it's been exposed many, many times. They're kind of like painting the picture of like what happened with Pop Smoke, unfortunately. Like the address was on the bag. Right here, they're saying in the background that you see the Westin Hotel. Okay. So if you're running around downtown Memphis and, you know, people knew where you were the day before, or you're at the hotel, you're coming, you're going, whatever the case may be, you know, if they're plotting on you because you're in Memphis and you got beef, or we don't like you for whatever reasons, or because you got money, or if it's related to Sauce Walka, or if it's related to y'all hanging around people that are on separate or different sides between this whole war between Yo Gotti and Young Dolph, right? All these different motives coming around location here, right? And they're saying that Sauce Walka didn't even share this. You know, this was more so posted by Sayso P. So if you got people that's on you and they're looking for you, or they're hunting you, or they don't want you there, or they're like, oh, you coming back boldly and you flossing? Okay, cool. Where are you? That's one of the motives that's going around, the Westin Hotel right there.
Go yard, diamonds, all this shit, man. We have this shit, man. See what the fuck going on.
holding this shit.
Sauce what it is, man.
Still holding though. But if holding, put it in gravity unit, G unit.
Sauce shit, man. It's so regular, man. Get all the.
Oh, I know it's getting real now, but like it's no case.
No movie, man. Tell your boss. I got back another in this over. We got made one, man.
Real sauce, real seasoning. Niggas burn. You did, me though. Just feel me. Hey, boss, what they doing? Yeah, B. The real CP. Happy birthday, Joe Motion, man.
It's a lot of stories, man. It's a lot of stories.
Yeah, man, bro, Sauce to the city for this shit, man. You did. Yeah, you did, B. CP. Yeah, you did. You did what the fuck going on. Stay with you did. Sauce about. Yeah, okay, B. Look, got it on him right now. Got it on him right now. No cap. Top up. Y'all see this shit, man. Y'all see how I live, man. No cap. Y'all see how I live, man. Really stay down for this shit. Real talk. All these blessings and shit, man.
You know what? I could. So we on what, number 4? Number 4, I believe. We can add that as well. Let's show Sayso P some respect. Let's not say 100% that nobody knows, right? He did something to somebody. He was at war with somebody. That's why he left. Or it was the Westin Hotel location that was dropped. Or it's all the money that y'all are posting on your gram and where y'all gonna be. Let's add another one with all due respect to Sayso P and Sauce. Let's just add jealousy too, right? So when I get to videos like this looks like good living, right? The trees, you got a little lake or pond in the background. Definitely not in the fucking projects there, right? You got that as well. You got jealousy. Okay, let's add that motive to the list.
Down for this shit. This shit was not given. If you've been watching me, and you know how far I came, man. This shit only get bigger and better, man. I swear to God, stay tuned. No cap.
Ready to shoot. Maybe chuck it out with the truth.
And the rest of it is all just dropped, post, Memphis, Tennessee, club action. Okay, let's go to the fifth and the last motive, of course, that's going around. This is the most talked about, right? So this one here. And we did speak about this one on the stream yesterday. I brought up the post on IG, but let's look over it again. Memphis man says that allegedly rapper Sayso P ran off on someone for $200,000. Okay, now this was posted by my mixtapes, right? Pretty big platform, a lot of big platforms, a lot of big bloggers and podcasts have picked this up. This is the same post once again that we looked at yesterday's stream. Once again, by Exit 8, Tank the Bank. Know he's supposed to have security with him. Ain't no way you thought you had that much rank in the city that nobody wasn't going to try you, especially after pulling out all that money last night. And you had beef here. Allegedly, I'm sorry, already, them folks been waiting on you to come back. Come on, man. You ran off with 200K, shaking my head. If you having money, motion, and a millionaire with you, armed security should have been the first thing you got. First, or folks got to stop trying to prove they can come around and not get touched, shaking my head. I'm praying for his family, though. Sad situation. That post right there almost ties up everything that we've said so far, you know, about the security. Could have been jealousy because of the motion you have, the flashing of the money, the locations, the where you're at, whether you got beef there or not. This ties up so much. And until there's, you know, more talk that comes out from, I guess, Sayso P's people, there could be arrests that are made. You never know if Sauce identifies people. I'm not saying like on some telling shit, but you know, you never know if rumors start behind the scenes. More will continue to come out. If from nothing else, it's these days it's not easy to get away from this type of brazen crime, right? This downtown Memphis in front of a hotel, I believe, broad daylight, like 2 p.m. in the day, cameras everywhere, masks don't matter, gloves don't matter, the cars, the traffic lights, the license plate readers, the cell phones, the Instagram post, even if it's not technology, sooner or later somebody's just going to come out and say that they did it, right? Just like people that was around the Little Dirk shooting and shit, like they start posting the money that they got paid for the hit, right? It's sooner or later somebody's going to do something or say something if they haven't already, right? We thought that, you know, Big U, while he's on his way to jail, he's pretty much blaming the Whack 100 show and all that type of stuff. Meanwhile, we go back and we see all these old interviews of a million things that he's been saying as well that's in his indictment or that them people probably are using against him. So people talk, people post, more will continue to come out about this. But here's another thing that continues to lead towards if Sayso P is more so allegedly the reason behind all this opposed to Sauce being targeted, right? This is Mo3's manager, Rainwater, right? And he told this to Whack 100. Doesn't mean that it's true, but
I mean, that white boy. Yeah, he from there though. He has some more shit going on.
Oh, he from there?
Yeah, he from there. So
now it's making sense because I thought the nigga, I'm like, is this nigga from Texas?
Nah, I heard they stood over Walk and realized it was Walk and said, nah, you good. He knew what he did and ran out.
Oh, they stood over it.
Yeah, and realized it was Walk.
Oh, they didn't know it was him.
They ain't know him now. Buddy from there. He was popping it on that Sprinter. Like, I'm back here. You know, he was popping this shit. I'm here. Ain't nobody gonna do shit. I'm with Sauce Walka.
Oh, yeah, he tripped. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. They got so many new niggas running around here. A bunch of names. I seen my guy, what's his nigga name? Trio something.
Yeah, he's a goof ass.
Yeah, he
So it will continue. doesn't mean he clearly said I heard. You know what I'm saying? Like you never know. Maybe Sauce is already telling people that. I seen a video of Sauce. Looked like he was at a hotel or something. Had a bunch of people around him. I can't play it because he's getting a delivery of some stuff to ease the pain, if you follow what I'm saying, right? And I don't know how YouTube reacts around stuff like that. Like even some of the people that's posting it, they're like blurting out what he's getting a delivery of. But he seems in real good spirits. His leg is bandaged up, you know. So it looks like he got shot in the leg. And even what Rainwater just said, it kind of makes a little bit of sense too. Like you get shot in the leg, like you're not running too far, right? Now, if they ran up after from where they shot, you know, you could, for lack of better words, finish the job, right? Because this guy shot in the leg. So I don't think he's running at full speed. If he's running at all, I'm just saying. More will come out. More will come out about it. It's rest in peace to Sayso P, regardless, right? Because it's another life lost over street shit that hopefully could have been avoided. And you know that's the biggest message there. But there's more and more talk from the Instagram posting of the Westin, from being in Memphis, from allegedly people assuming or interpreting his post as taunting, right? Because of his Memphis stuff. He's got songs talking about I'm back in Memphis and I got friends that say I can't be here. He moved away, I assume for a good reason, right? I assume for reasons to grow past where he is from. He came back. And then you get this stuff that's going viral everywhere about running off for $200,000. Now, the thing about business is this is going to start to lead me into my second topic. You see Cassidy here, and you see the title. It says The Darkest Days of Battle Rap. Money is always going to be the motive. You see the thumbnail. It's always going to be the motive. It's the motive for good. It's the motive for bad. Money incentivizes people. If I tell y'all right now, hey man, it's 6 a.m. In Chicago. Meet me downtown, you know, in 3 hours to have a cup of coffee. Nah, I got other things. I got to be at work. Now I'll hang out with you later. Meet me at that same location in 2 hours. I got a briefcase for you, $5 million. Pew, you're there. Incentives, right? Incentivized. Right. And that's fine. Like money is the motive. We need money to live. We need money to survive. We need money to achieve the things that we want to achieve. People want nice things in life. It all takes money, right? I understand why it makes the world go round. But when you talk about, you know, running off with somebody's money, I've always been big on thieves, right? Especially burglars. Like I don't got no respect for thieves. I just don't. I know some of that has been embedded in me because of all the hard work I've put in over the years. You know, I'm talking about I had a job as a teenager. I worked at Boston Market for a time when I was a little teenager, you know, back cutting up food and serving food and all types of shit. I did that. First time I ever earned a check for myself was a summer youth program. Um, we was back there in the fucking CYO youth center. I'm cleaning up fucking the gym and all types of shit and just the whole building. That's what we did. We had to make it spotless. And at the end of the summer, we got a check for like $800 and we spent it all on going back to school clothes. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the program, right? That was the first time I ever earned a legal check. A legal check, not illegal, people, right? I've done a bunch of different jobs on my finding my way when I was real young from a kid, you know, but I always worked. I always worked hard. Always. You know, I had a length of time where it's just like you're hitting that alarm clock in corporate America and it's 4 o'clock in the morning, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm out there standing on the bus stop, taking my ass to work, you know, before the sun is even up. It's still dark outside in the cold, in the snow. New Yorker. You know how it is in New York. They prepare for snow. It could be 3 feet of snow. The city is still moving. The city is plowed. Get your ass to the office. You know what I'm saying? I had so many years of putting in work and being on my grind and moving up the corporate ladder and this American dream that everybody's trying to get to, moving up year by year, putting in the work, brick by brick. My motto and tatted on my fucking leg, brick by brick. Okay. And to turn around and watch somebody just, I spent 10 years to buy that fucking car. And you just ran down the block and popped somebody's lock and stole it and drove off with it, a nigga like me is never supposed to respect a thief. I work too hard, my whole life. I don't respect it, and I don't know how I dealt with that shit for 10 years in battle rap of watching people steal in different forms, whether it be a lie, whether it be running off with a deposit, whether it be somebody putting their hands in my business. I don't know how I watched it for 10 years. Like, I don't come up like that. I don't respect it. And God bless me with the poise to just keep working, right? And good people around me at times, we keep each other settled. It's just like, let's work. It's times I'm going to get irate. I'm going to fly off the hinge. I'm going to blog. I'm going to cut off a camera. It's people. It's just like, if we see that person, like it's a problem, it's an issue, or bare minimum, a conversation. It's been a lot that we dealt with, a lot. It's a ton that y'all don't know. And if that man, I say all this to close out the Sayso P, if he ran off with somebody's money for $200,000, that is life-changing money. You got some of these hitmen out here, they don't got nothing going on. They're the definition of a crash out. You can pay them $1,500 to go put their hands on somebody, or to go put in work. $1,500, $1,000. Some people do it for free. They don't got nothing to do. Crash out. So $200,000 is life-changing money for some people. You see some of these rap-related hits, I would bet money that none of them got paid $200K. None of them. It was all way, 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 way less. So let's say hypothetically, it's a club promoter or somebody like that. Like $200,000 is missed, even by millionaires. It's missed. Like, I missed that money. All alleged, people. This is all alleged. All due respect to Sayso P. I'm just saying, if there's any truth to stuff like that, you start to understand, because as much as life is precious, and you'd be like, damn, like it's just another life lost. What did the person do is what people want to know. Like, did the person do anything? Did you believe that the person really deserved that level? You know what I'm saying? Of getting ran down on in broad daylight. And, we'll continue to hear more about that piece by piece. But I gave a little bit of a battle rap mixing right there. So let's do the transition, okay? I'm gonna tell y'all something about battle rap, but I want to play this Cassidy clip first. Where's it at? Here it go. Okay.
Why don't you give us 100%, or
it's not fair?
Why not make it show us the difference, of how much it's not fair?
Nah, I showed that originally. Okay. And I ain't battled for 15, 16 years straight.
Okay.
They ain't booked me. They running around starting all these leagues off my energy and acting like they don't want to book me. And I understand this because they couldn't afford it. Because the business that I was trying to do was so advanced, they wasn't ready for it yet. So now that the business grew, people think that it's so large and it's so huge. It's like it might have grew from back then, but it's still not a crazy big business yet. Gotcha. It still got growing to do. People still gotta handle shit better. Y'all see, like, since I've been away, battle rap at its lowest point ever right now. Like, this shit's super weak right now.
Yeah.
Like, energy, the momentum, the like shit that's coming from battle rap is like super weak right now. So it goes to show you need to make some improvements, need to step it up in certain areas. And it's going.
Oh, y'all don't want to get into battle rap because I could talk forever. Shout out to Cass, man. Where do I start? All right, where do I start? Cass said, battle rap business grew, but still, it's like very true. Battle rap business is still very, very small, very, very niche market and industry. It's still a very, very unprofessional. It's still damn near. It feels at times. All right, let me say this. There's people and there's elements within battle rap that have taken it to new heights and gave new opportunity and made things look bigger and better. But overall, does this year feel any bigger than 5 years ago? Or like business wise, not battle or league wise, just business wise? Well, ask your favorite battler. They're being offered less money today. So the business is going backwards as far as the ceiling being raised of what people can earn as a battle rapper or as a league owner or even as a blogger. Speaking of as a blogger, um, let me say this as well.
Yeah, you already know this.
Because this is going to transition me into another point. The Cassidys of the world are absolutely needed in battle rap, right? And I just played that interview on the Hip Hop Is Real channel. Shout out to Hip Hop Is Real. I'm just curious. Like, if you look down the views of their channel recently, the video that we were just playing is at 5.4 thousand views. Now, if you start to look around to see what's the next video that tops that amount of views, you got Cassidy involved in this one here again, which is a throwback. 5.3 thousand views. Got two videos right here, Cassidy. All right, this one right here, 11,000 views. But it's presented like a battle. So of course, battles are supposed to do more. But I'm just talking about general hip hop is real media type of content. Cassidy's in the lead there. Then we're going down, 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 we're going down. I don't see it past yet. I don't see a passion. Oh, wait, here, right here. All right. Geechee Gotti fires back at Averb. Controversy about a fight. Do I really need to count that? We know what's going to happen with a video like that. Of course, that does more views. But general media. Hey, what do you think about battle? What do you think about this? General media. What else is passing that? Oh, here's one. Oh, nope. Cassidy's in that one as well. Cassidy and Danny Myers go at it. Nobody can kill Cassidy, which is another throwback video. This might be a throwback video. All right. So Cassidy again. You guys see my point. Oh, here's one. It's not battle rap related. Big U arrested. It's not even battle rap. Here's one. Hitman versus Twerk Epic Showdown. That right there is the first one that I feel legitimately from a battle rap media standpoint, just regular content is won over the Cassidy views right now. Hitman and Twerk, which is one of the biggest battles left to happen. So that makes sense. Okay, so I really feel like I got one so far. Here's two. Vixen's wild attempts to distract Twerk, 17,000 views. Twerk holding up Vixen's ass in the camera. Vixen be all on her gram and Twitter and whatnot, posting her twerk videos and shit. Y'all got that at 17,000 views because y'all are fucking horn dogs. All right, so, all right, so you get my point. You get my fucking point, right? So the Cassidys of the world are needed. If I go down to battle rappers, you need to keep this shit at some of the highest levels. And I'm just gonna freestyle and I'm gonna miss a bunch of names. But man, shout out to Hitman. He's right there. He's actually doing more than he ever has. Not only is he there as his presence and his draw and as a battle rapper, but he's now running a league. All right, his league is there. Murder Mook is there, right? That's the battle we really want to see. That's like an end game battle. Like battle rap can't end without that battle happening, right? So you got that. You got those two guys. You got Lux is around. So the three top guys, they are around. Shout out to them. Goods is around. I think that he's ready to battle. You just got to pay his fee. Calico's running the league. Dope. We need DNA back. You need Cassidy to actually step in the ring because things will go up. It'd be dope if Briz was back, but I'm not one of the guys that's sitting here for 5 years saying Briz. If he doesn't want to battle, he doesn't want to battle. You know what I'm saying? Like, Twerk is there. He's always Surf is on the way home. Hopefully he battles. Everybody's saying Surf. You don't know what that man's gonna do when he gets home. He got to go family and secure himself and set himself up first. I don't know if Surf is coming home to $1 million. He's got to get himself. Who knows? You don't even know if the platforms that you think he would gravitate towards is going to have a big bag waiting for you. Just don't know, right? So Easy got Swamp coming up. Easy's one of the higher viewed or higher attention grabbing people. But we need all the goats too. You need all the golden era people on the scene, and you need them active and you need them battling. It's not easy to get them to battle. The market is you can see the difference between the battlers that are willing to take the type of money that's available and they're very, very active. They're willing to pull up for favors. They're willing to pull up for shorts. They're willing to pull up. You can see that versus the other people that it just like, damn, this shit is like Goods looks like that. Goods don't look like some of the other Goods looks like a guy where he's just like, yo, I'm used to getting this. This is what I want. And it hasn't been offered to me yet. And I'm going to be over here until that. That's what it looks. And there's other people like that as well. You know, Shine, I think there's been opportunities in front of Shine that he's turned down, right? Hopefully he makes his way back to the ring. And so forth and so on, right? Now on the league side, when I talk about money as the motive, let's talk about money and battle rap. The most productive leagues that you have seen, it always stems back to financial stability. Okay. And I'm going to say URL, King of the Dot, and RBE, right? If I want to skip ahead real fast and say, who is the top leagues today? It's Bags and Bodies and Chrome 23. What do those two leagues have in common? Well, number one, they have a certain presence about them that can come from the owners, right? Like Hitman, his name rings. Remy Ma, her name rings. They have that in common, right? That's a draw within itself. Sticking on the money, though, they're both financed. They're both financed. If Remy Ma decides, I'm going to shut down these shows for a second, I'm going to go focus on battle rap, and why would she want to do that? but if she said, I want to do a card, she could afford the top names. She could afford a big event. Hitman Holla, when he did the face-off versus Geechee Gotti, he put $100,000 on the table before the stream started. That's his money. That's not the battle rap money. Okay? There's only but so many league owners that can do that. Put $100,000 in front of you right now. I can count on one hand how many league owners can do that. Now let's go back to RBE, URL, and and King of the Dot. And let's talk about I want to talk about now and then. What do I do first? Let's talk about now, since we said the darkest days of battle rap. I can't go one day without somebody saying, RBE, you are needed. Go put the fucking cape on and do something, right? Every day I see something related to that. And I'm on it and I'm humbled by it. Today, the lack of the removal of RBE, me removing myself, the impact is there, and I'm not going to spend time on it because then me speaking about myself, it's going to be interpreted in weird ways by weirdos, okay? King of the Dot. From the outside looking in, it looks like King of the Dot, for at least the last 4 years, they haven't had financial incentives. I don't know what they got in their bank accounts, right? But remember, they had like a gap where they took like a year or two off, right? And then last year, we saw one of the biggest cards of recency hit with Massacre, and it had Big K and Tay Rock on it. But you know, it was a collaboration, and the thing is, the people that were involved in financing that, they just don't get talked about. They don't get any credit because King of the Dot is the name, and they're in the front, right? We really just see organic hosting and King of the Dot promotion, and even the event name Massacre. That's a King of the Dot brand. That's a King of the Dot series. But the people that's financing it is not King of the Dot, right? So when they're not financing it, and then they go over here and they do their own thing, which is why you're seeing Daylight and Rum Nitty card, a 2-day card. You think that's a coincidence? Massacre 2-day card, and now this 2-day Rum Nitty and Daylight card. It's the same people that financed it. Just now they're doing their own thing instead of financing or collaborating with King of the Dot, right? So then I asked the question from the outside looking in as an analyst, right? Is that why King of the Dot just, I come in, I work, boom, and I got to go? Because nobody is there until the next time somebody comes around and has that financial backing to you, right? It's similar also from what we see from the outside looking in with URL, right? When the mayor comes around, URL jumps outside. When an event that gets promoted for 2 weeks, okay, we'll put this together like this. Cool. We got some money behind us, right? Why did Hitman and Mook not happen on URL? Ask the owners, ask Hitman, ask Mook. Okay. Mostly the app-only events that we've been seeing, right? You see people and sponsors like Frank that give a lot of incentive these days for URL. Outside of that, for like the last 2 years, if you look at the leagues right now, URL, who is one of the leaders, if you try to put the leagues in order right now, just like today, March 24th, 2025, URL would be like in third, fourth, fifth place, maybe. If the top 3 leagues aren't there, who are the most productive? Here's the thing about URL and King of the Dot, and even I had to catch up to this. They have and had stellar marketing. So if you take like some of the heydays of like King of the Dot, when you got like the Kia there behind them, or they got other sponsors behind them, or before the YouTube crash, and they're making more money, and battle rap is hotter, and more people are in the building, and you know what I'm saying, that King of the Dot got more money around, right? Or if you even look at URL, whether it's exclusive vodka, whether it's Al Capone cigarillos paying for events, whether Norbs is putting in money, right? Whether it's I believe from what we hear in the battle rap industry, the biggest thing was Harry. Like Harry's just like boom, all these big events. Remember when he did his Twitter run? I just lost $100,000 last night, whatever. We all have those tweets, right? Like Harry just responsible allegedly for a lot financially behind URL, right? And when those things aren't, when the mayor isn't there, when Al Capone isn't there, when Harry isn't there, when Nakia isn't there, when the people that finance King of the Dot's last or massacre aren't there, these guys move back into the shadows as of recent years. So I say all that to say, when I mold this into money as the mode, that's one difference. And I'm not talking shit. This is a reality, and everybody knows it already. It's the biggest difference between King of the Dot, URL, and RBE. It's one of the biggest differences is that when it talks about the financing and you talk about the ability to even be able to carry these leagues in an industry like this, King of the Dot, many times, and URL, most of their tenor, they're using other people's money or they're depending on other people's money. Nothing wrong with spending other people's money. In a world of business, that usually is the goal. RBE was self-financed. Big difference. Why is that a big difference? Because when you look at the landscape of all these leagues these days, if you have a subpar event, or if you just break even for an event, or if you go in the negative for the event, and 85% of these events that we're watching are not making money. The leagues will never tell you that, but they're not making money. Okay. Now, when you have an event that breaks even, does subpar, like, oh, we all made $1,000. Hurrah. You know what I'm saying? Or goes in the red. How do you then come back two months later and do another event? You got to be able to go into your own pocket for the money. That's the big difference. Okay. So when you see a league come out, especially if the event fails, meaning that battles are lost, or the main event doesn't happen, or the co-main event doesn't happen, or it doesn't have a good turnout, the stream didn't do that well, the way that we priced this out, we overpaid it, whatever. If it just behind the scenes doesn't work out financially, which I'm telling you is like more than 85% of the time anyway, right? That's when you see the gaps. That's when you see a league do an event, and then you don't see them come back outside again for like another 6 months. 7 months. Like, we kept a consistent this amount of events. It didn't matter whether we made money or we lost money. I told y'all so many times, like the first 2 through 4 years of RBE, we was in the red. You have to build, and this especially as a business period, but in this industry, 100%. You don't make money for a minute unless you really, you got your science hat on. You really get this number and everything done, and the business and the way you go about your event is really to the T, right? I think that's one thing that changed in Chrome 23, right? She came in saying, "Hey, I want the ladies. Everybody gets 10,000. You get sneakers. You get a jacket. Everybody get $10,000 minimum, because the women need to be making just as much as the men." And Ren learned real quick, like, damn, I'm definitely playing Santa Claus right now. And even Easy is interjecting. He's been saying that publicly, right? He said it. I'm not saying nothing that's private. He said it publicly, like, listen, nah, that person ain't getting this. We ain't doing that over here. Nah, trenches ain't spending that because it's not coming back. Right? I think Hitman has a pretty good grasp on the market and what he should be paying as well. Like he's not going to play Santa Claus. He's learned a lot. He's seen a lot. He knows who draws and who doesn't. He's on the cards with these people. He's been a part of pay-per-view deals before he had his own league. He sees numbers. He knows numbers. Now he got his own league. Pay you 50 when you're worth 10. Bags and Bodies ain't going to do it. Chrome 23 ain't going to do it. Yet they are the most financed and they are the top 2 leagues right now. So being self-financed allows you to also stay consistent. Like if you don't have the consistency of a URL, a RBE, or a King of the Dot, there's a big piece that's missing, right? Unless you feel like something else is in that place, like a Chrome 23 and a Bags and Bodies. Because those three leagues alone, those 3 platforms alone, you can set a certain expectation. If you're media, if you're a blogger, if you're the fans, if you're a battle rapper, rotating amongst those 3 leagues, you are going to have an incredible year. You know, RBE is going to do some shit. You know, URL is going to give you Summer Madness or Gnome. You know, King of the Dot going to fuck around, give you Blackout and World Dom. You might get a Max Out. You might get a Blue Room. You might get a Lift His Soul. You might get a Blood Sweat. Over here, you might get a Born Legacy. Over there, you might get a Gannick versus Gully. Like all the, you know what I'm saying? And these are even reputations and series that are built up and build fan expectation. When I say Lift His Soul, oh, we know we've seen that before. If I say Start, oh, we've seen that before. Max Out, oh, we've seen that before. Blue Room, we've seen that before. Blackout, we've seen that before. Gnome, oh, we have an expectation. Well, they even during some of their financial issues and things, they've URL has tainted the reputation of Summer Madness and Gnome to a degree. Oh, we're replacing it this year and we're doing summer double in with some double Gnome or whatever it is. We're combining shit and consolidating and figure out ways and that comes with when you're down. You know what I'm saying? Like it's navigating. You know, as long as you can market it good, you know, you could find some areas of success. But URL clearly is in a holding pattern right now. Right. Let's try to keep the app fed, right? And even you could even see the motivation behind URL working with platforms for content that they didn't put together themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like getting other platforms content on their app. Right. Like this is all clear. They're clearly in a holding pattern, whether it's waiting for the next sponsor, whether you're waiting for Sue Surf to come home and you feel just if that's the case, then you might as well just make him a partner of the league. Then if the whole league is waiting for Sue Surf, he got to be a partner then. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to be an impact. But what else? King of the Dot. You know, if Organic and the rest of the team over there have other incentives like fuck battle rap, especially price wise, and I'm not going into my own pocket. If somebody's gonna come over and spend some money, cool. Other than that, I'm over here, you know, I got this other business that I'm building up, whatever. I respect it and I get it. But Cassidy is right when he says battle rap is at its weakest point. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. You need the biggest, most. I don't care how much y'all love or hate Cassidy. We just went down the channel to show an example of he's among the highest viewed. Everybody's gonna buy that stream if he battles next month. You need the Cassidy. Love him or hate him. Hitman, love him or hate him. Murder Mook, love him or hate him. Loaded Lux, love him. You need him. Even when URL tried to get away, bars over names and new era and all that stuff. There's financial incentives to get to the lower bracket of or tiers of artists that are contract for $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 versus these guys that want $100,000, right? Like business wise, it makes fucking sense. But those guys obviously have shown over the last 5 years, financially and business wise, I don't care how talented they are, they cannot carry the torch of the golden era battle rappers. You still need the Goods, the Shine, the Calico, the Hitman, the Loaded Lux, the Murder Mook, the all those. You still need those guys on the card, or else the card isn't going to sell for your league. You go ahead, cut your stream on, and you got nothing but these up and coming names that y'all say that we all love and you think are super talented. Go ahead and cut that stream on, and you're gonna sell 100 streams. It's the truth. It's the truth. So the money motive, whether it's waiting for sponsors, the lack of sponsors and or investors, the lack of either A, the availability to go into your own pocket for money that's not there, or B, just simply not being incentivized to go, because people could have it and not want to spend it, like saying like, I ain't spending it on it. I got it, but I ain't spending it on this shit. That could be the case with certain people too. Money motive, right? And money being a motive is not a bad thing in the points that I'm making. I'm just trying to show you the business of this shit is fucked up. And if the market continues to lower and the battlers have to continue to accept lower money than what the golden era or the heydays or these other times that they made on, whether it's King of the Dot, I got this one time, RBE paid me this one time, how the fuck I'm gonna take this now? Or King, when Caffeine was here, I got triple of what I'm worth. How I'm gonna take it now? Right now when you were getting paid 20 and a league is saying like, damn, look at these pay-per-view numbers, like I gotta offer you 3,000. I know you made 20 on your last year, but I'm trying to give you $3,000. A battler goes from taking 20 grand to $3,000. You think we're gonna get a good performance? Look at the domino effect. And then we cut on the stream and we just see a card full of favors. You see how I draw the points to actual reality? We see a card full of favors. Geechee is up there rapping a favor. Clips is up there freestyling. It's like they're gonna actually give a good show to the fans. Then the bloggers, the media, they start to lose confidence in spending the $50, lose confidence in the streams. This didn't happen, that didn't happen, and this happens across all these leagues, and it just continues to decline. It just continues to decline. I saw some. Hold on, people. Shout out to my man 40. My man 40's in the building. He says, simple, no more RBE. We need that brick by brick. Respect, 40. Me and you got to get a full circle done, man. My man Twizzer's in the building. He said they got comfortable in that spot, and that's dangerous. Anybody that gets complacency is an ingredient to failure or to losing what you have. Complacency. You always have to keep the mentality of moving up and moving up. I've said this story before too. I have loved ones. I could be like in the most beautiful house at crib ever, and I'd be on the phone with some of my people and be like, you know what, I'm thinking about grabbing this over here. They were like, why? Like, how do you ask a question like that? We are not the same. It's the camera on the inside. You're saying why? I'm saying why not? Like, you always have the mentality of moving up, even if you don't, or even if you can't. You shoot for $1 billion, I promise you will make $1 million. Always have the mentality of moving up in the world. That needs to be a mentality. It needs to be a mentality. Complacency is something that in relation, it goes across the board. It could be like, okay, I'm cool in school. I got 90s. What's up with the 100? Isn't that what you want for your children? Right? All right, I'm making $1 million. How about 2 million? Right? Because that 1 million can go. You can still go broke. I don't care. You can still go broke. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, I lost some weight. Like, no, keep being healthy. Build more consistency. Like, it goes across your relationship. I got her. You know, she's here with me now. But last year, you know what I'm saying? You was giving her a whole different type of energy. You think she's not gonna step out sooner or later, or he's not gonna be, look, and this got all complacent and you started taking shit for granted. And that's a part of declines as well. Nah, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work, man. Shout out to Butterfresh. One of our members says battle rap is super weak right now. Shaking my head. It's sad, man. It is sad. But we all do what we can, and I don't pray on no downfall, no shit like that. That shit don't do nothing for me. I had a conversation just yesterday about something that can be massive for battle rap. So I'm here, man. I care about the survival of battle rap. I just am honest about what I see and honest about the stuff that I know. I just did it for too long. I just know too much. So, all right. Let me jump to this, folks. I'm I can mold this into some battle rap people too, a little bit, maybe.
Is there anybody you wouldn't interview? I've heard you say notice you wouldn't do 6ix9ine, right?
Yeah, but I changed my mind on that.
You've evolved on that.
Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, he probably needs it right now. Shout out, Charleston White, you wouldn't do?
The Charleston White thing is tied to my relationship with Boosie. So
that's fair.
Right. And at the end of the day, you try not to pick sides, but sometimes you have to pick sides.
Yeah.
And I've done 2 interviews with Charleston, but then Charleston started going off the deep end.
I saw Charleston just do a video talking about Asian babies.
Yeah.
And like how they should be like sodomized and killed. Right. And I was like, I could never have that dude on my shit. Like I know like, he's like the real life Uncle Ruckus. He's funny. Like if you're just scrolling and you're like, but there's just certain shit that like if you're the type of person to publicly say that shit, like I'm good. Like
he said, I remember when I said, he's like he hopes my kids die and all this type of stuff. Like he just, and he was talking about, and Boosie was like, yo man, this dude's talking about my kids. Like,
at the end of the day, you guys have a friendship and a business relationship.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Not worth fucking with.
And that's like if you look at all the people I've had beef with over the years. Have you ever heard me talking about someone's kids, someone's parents? Like people's loved ones. I've always stayed just at them.
Yeah, and pretty fact driven.
If I have a problem with you, I'm gonna deal with you.
Your tweet, man, you be flaming motherfuckers up on Twitter sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Bro. Sometimes. Especially if someone doesn't do your shit and then they try to talk shit about you and then their album flops, you'd be like, so and so sold 8,000 copies. Maybe had they done Vlad TV, they could have sold 11,000 copies.
Sweetie, actually.
Yeah.
I love that continued conversation. I mean, Charleston White ain't going nowhere because he's entertaining. At least people, I shouldn't say that. I was gonna say at least people know what he's about. There are the people of the world that they follow Charleston White and they follow the Jaguar rights because they're like messiahs to them. Like you know what I'm saying? Like they look at them like, yes, expose and be the truth teller for me. And right, it is what it is. I stay away from those debates, right? But I think there are a bunch of us that we already tagged Charleston White. We know who and what he is. This guy has no bounds. He'll go to any side of the spectrum that will benefit him. He'll go all the way over here, or he'll go all the way over. It doesn't matter, right? And I've asked that question before. Should platforms give Charleston White a platform? Now, for all you big fans of Charleston White, he will still be there because he'll still get on his social media. He'll still get on his Instagram and Twitter. He just has that motive or that motivation to speak out. We can tell. Or he'll get on his own YouTube. He'll create a YouTube channel or something, right? He's going to make sure that he can get the money for talking shit, right? But should people platform him is the question, right? Now, I see Vlad change his mind on 6ix9ine, and Vlad wouldn't have made that decision. That would make sense if that was a moral-based decision to keep 6ix9ine off of his shit. Like, oh, I don't deal with snitches, but you've had a lot of snitches on your shit. So I think professionally, Vlad realized that I don't have anything that hit close to home for 6ix9ine. He didn't necessarily affect anybody that I protect or any of my real life friends. It's content. He's had worse. He's had murderers and shit on his platforms. So he's had worse. All right. But once again, the kids thing, and for people to purposefully platform the Charleston Whites of the world to get that type of content. Let's hear you talk about the death of Asian babies. Let's hear you talk about Gilly the Kid's child. So let's hear you talk about Math Hoffa or Boosie's child. I've said before, like that hits for me too, because Math is my homie, so I would never cut a check to Charleston White. I would never have him on my shit. You know what I'm saying? And he's bookable for me. I could afford Charleston White. I'd make it easy for him, do a digital shit with him, and his manager would love to pick up that check. If I call Charleston White right now and say, do this digital shit, I got 10 bands for you. You think he wouldn't be on here with me tonight? Of course he would. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth it to me though. Not every dollar is a good dollar. Now, even something like let's say Matt. Let me use that example. Like let's say now if I looked up and I seen Math interviewing somebody that I feel like threatened my family, right? Then that would just show me that all right, me and him's not on the same accord. We're not carrying our relationship the same way, and I would retract. Doesn't mean that we wouldn't be cool, but I would retract, right? And same thing with Vlad and Boosie. Vlad and Boosie off camera must have established some type of relationship with Boosie. Well, he did this to my kids, and Vlad's like, I got you. I ain't fucking with him. That's how it's supposed to be. If your peoples don't stand up for you, if your peoples don't side for you, if they don't hold you down in the presence of money, it will show you. People just think like you got to be able to fucking fight for me, or you got to be able to show up to my birthday party when that's going to make you a close friend to me. You got to establish these relationships sometimes based on somebody accepting an uncomfortable position. I once had somebody tell me, let me take this down. It was one of the biggest, it was an old friend of mine, somebody that I considered one of the closest people to me. But we were having an argument. And he said to me, I'll never forget. He said to me, I'll paraphrase. He said to me, I'll never do something that'll make me uncomfortable, or something like that. And I saw the level of selfishness in it that scared me. I was just like, wow. And the reason why it fucked me up is because I'm opposite for that person as well as other people in my circle. It's just like, I'm willing to sacrifice for my people. Am I wrong? Like, and like that to me is one of the clearest ways to see the level of relationship that you have when somebody is willing to sacrifice. Sacrifices don't have to be extreme, people. A sacrifice could come in the mere fact like, yo, what are you doing? For example, right? Last weekend I had some stuff going on, right? If I would have got a call from like a family member or a friend, like, yo, such and such just happened or whatever, I would cancel my weekend and I would be with them. I would let's say I had a vacation booked, right? And I already spent thousands of dollars booking my room and my flights and all that type of shit. Somebody called me and said, yo, shit just hit the fan. I'm canceling my trip, even if it's non-refundable. I'm sacrificing. You know what I'm saying? If I gotta lose some money or try to wait for my money or get it later because you're able to eat, I'm more that type of guy. You know what I'm saying? I share a lot. You know what I mean? Or if I see you sacrifice for me, you know what I'm saying? You invest in things I got going on. You spend money with me. You fought alongside of me. You carry guns along. You know, like people have sacrificed their freedom for me. You know, like I'm walking around next to you and I don't got a license to carry. Like, you know, if somebody look at you the wrong way or touch you, like what you think I'm gonna do? That's a I don't forget. I don't take stuff like that lightly. That's a sacrifice because you can end up in jail behind that. You know what I'm saying? When somebody's willing to sacrifice for you, that is the ultimate. A lot of relationships show sacrifice. You into it with your girlfriend or whatever, or your husband, your boyfriend, ladies. You know what I'm saying? The amount that you will sacrifice for each other shows how much you are invested, right? And in this media game, it's no fucking different. I will sacrifice the money I could make to not fuck with certain people. I will. I have. I will continue to do so. And if I just paint it right back to money being the motive, the Charleston Whites of the world, that's the question. You know, if he is considered to be a cancer because of how disruptive and negative he is and how disgusting of things he's willing to say, should people be providing him these platforms and cutting him a check to do this type of stuff? That's the question. That's the question. And this is why this shit never stops. It's I can spin into battle rap one last time, right? I had this conversation a couple of days ago as well. I said, battle rap was always doomed from a business standpoint. It was always doomed because we never enforced proper behavior. For example, if 10 years ago I felt like a league crossed me, I should have sued him. If 8 years ago I felt like a battle rapper ran off with a deposit, if it made sense, if a lawyer was willing to pick up that case and that was an attackable situation, I should have sued the battle rapper. Right? The league owners that watch people steal are not supposed to then just turn around and let the fans see us platform them. The classic example to me is Hip Hop Is Real asking Smack on camera about the Goods in the Gyms fight. His response to that, although genuine, and I respect it at a man level, from a fan standpoint, as far as us keeping the integrity of the business up, it's destructive, in my opinion. It's destructive. And I might have done things that have been destructive. As me platforming somebody that's ran off before, I'm gonna be fair. I've done some things that didn't uphold the full value of business and battle rap before. I think I'm one of the best that have held up business. I think if you scale me on a 1 to 10, my grade is pretty high of holding up the integrity of business of battle rap. But we've been a letdown there. We've fostered bad business and irresponsibility. We've fostered it. We've platformed it. We've motivated it. Sometimes behind the scenes, it's even been requested. Hey, cancel that battle. Hey, let me pay you. Hey, give him back his deposit. Hey, don't do that. Do this instead. So if you got some of the biggest, most respected figures, if I'm so respected, the people that say that they don't like me, they call me a leader. And the people that say they don't like me, behind the scenes, they call me a leader. Even though I'm retired, I'm telling you a fact. They call me a leader behind the scenes. Okay. They say ARP is one of the leaders, right? If I'm such a leader, imagine if I tell a battle rapper that deposit that league gave you, don't do that shit. That's why I'll be like, I'm sensitive with that. Even when it comes my way, like, listen, I'd rather, shout out. I can't say his name. It's an Atlanta-based battle rapper. And one time he told me, he was like, yeah, but if I got to, I'll scratch that shit. And I was like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. I don't want to be involved in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's figure out how we could do both, maybe. Like, because I don't want to be with my level of prominence and what I represent and my level of influence. And if I'm one of the leaders, to endorse that, because then it just gets cultivated out. You know what I'm saying? If you teach if you're the father and all the kid does is watch you rob banks as a child, you're not gonna turn around and tell him never steal. Like, yeah, cultivate it. You know what I mean? And it's that point right there goes into both the Charleston White shit as well as back into battle rap again. I got a poster here on the side of me, people. It's one of three. It's one of three. I got one hanging up. I gave one to Gerald McCoy because Gerald sponsored he sponsored Young Ill, B Magic, and Arsenal. Right. A lot of people think he sponsored Averb or Max out. He didn't. I paid Averb, right? But he wanted to sponsor the surprise battle, which was Arsenal and B Magic, right? And once again, he's cool with Young Ill, so he sponsored Young Ill. Right. And then I went and paid Big K for Young Ill. But I'm looking at the poster. I brought 3 of them to the Max Out press conference, and I got them signed by everybody on the card. There's 3 of them. I got one, Gerald got one, and I got one more. Actually, I got 2 of them. I know who I'm going to give the 3rd one to. I just haven't had the chance. And I'm looking at the fucking card of Max Out 3, this signed autograph poster. It's Hitman versus Ill Will, Averb versus A-Ward, the biggest soul promotion ever to me that Averb did in that grudge match just needed to happen. Young Ill versus Big K, while Big K's on his champion of the year run and Young Ill is returning. Calico versus Goods was the 4th announcement. Arsenal versus B Magic, a surprise battle. The 2 Crips. It's not even on the flyer. Arsenal versus B Magic. Head Ice versus Show Off. QB Black Diamond versus RX. XL versus Death the Kid. Zay versus Sino Savvy. Riggs versus J Slash. And K Venom versus J Breed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and a surprise battle. 11 battles, all of which the fans said hit and delivered. 11 for an 11 night. Imagine getting something like that again.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic.
I'm a boss, making decisions my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry Street Podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.